Yo, what's good, Charlotte Phoenix fans? I'm BearLight, and here with me is a superstar. He is the professional Apex Legends player for your Charlotte Phoenix. We got MrGreekGod, aka Greek, and you just came off ALGS champs in casting in Raleigh, so obviously we'll get to that. I kind of had to bring you in for that reason, but more importantly, how have you been, man?
I've been good. You know, I took a little break to obviously go to the LAN in Raleigh, but I'm back. I'm ready to start streaming again and just grinding.
Always see you grinding, always on, man. And obviously you casted with 100 Thieves content creator NiceWigg, and for those who don't know, obviously it seems like from the outside the brotherhood runs pretty deep with you guys. So how did this come to be? How did you guys become so close, and kind of describe the connection between you two today?
So it's actually funny because a lot of people think that me and Wig have been friends for like a very, very long time. But it's only been about a year and a half that we've known each other. And we actually met in a ranked LFG Discord. He posted that him and a prize were LF1 one day. And I shot my shot in the Discord. We'd never played with each other. I don't think they knew who I was, but I was just like a pretty high number pred. And so they were like, yeah, man, sure, come on. And we ended up playing that one day, had like a really good point gain, and we ended up running it back again, and we just kind of kept doing it for like a week and a half. We started like a group chat with me, him, and a prize, and then the rest is history. We started playing almost every day, started talking with each other every day, and then they just hit me up and they were like, hey, you know, we want to move to LA. We have an extra room, and we'd love for you to be our third roommate. And I was just like, yeah, and just took the chance, booked the flight a week and a half later, and the rest is history.
It's a ballsy move to kind of jump out and hit up, you know, some of the biggest names, first of all. But did you ever expect all that later stuff to happen, right? To move out, and, you know, when you first reached out, was that an expectation?
No, I mean, I was just trying to play some ranked that first day. You know, those two are historic names when it comes to the ranked playlist. Yep. You know, everybody knows a prize, everybody knows Wig, and I was just like, yeah, man, I think it'd be pretty cool to be able to play with them, you know, one time in ranked and just see how it goes. And you know, they liked my energy, they thought I was funny, and they ended up liking me as their third for ranked.
Listen, I would do the same thing. That sounds mad cool. Kind of jealous, not gonna lie. Peak numbers during the event. Let's get right to the event. Peak numbers for that B stream that you guys were running reached over 30K. That's impressive. And I really don't want to bad talk other esports events, because obviously, as you know, one esport grows, so do the rest of them. But overall, you know, I've seen main channels of championship games of other esports titles with half the viewers that you had on the B stream. But in your mind, why do you think the B stream popped off the way it did?
For that, I think it's because I think EA does a very, very good job with their broadcast options, because I think they provide every viewer with a different aspect of what they like to enjoy. You know, you have the A stream, which is way more professional. They have like way more production on it. They have the command center for people who want to watch specific teams. And then they have the B stream, which is us, where they give us just freedom to roam around. We can watch whoever we want. We could watch any fights that we want. They give us 2 PCs to be able to roam around on each of our ends. And then, you know, me and Wig have the verbal freedom to, like, you know, curse a little. We have like a real homey, chill vibe. We can go off on tangents. And overall, I think the vibes of the B stream are what people like the most.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but in the Discord, I was like, hey, listen, I was typing up the post, and I was like, you know, Greek and NiceWigg on the B stream. And then I was like, wait a minute, and I said comma, I was like, it actually feels more like an A+ stream. Like, the content was actually hilarious. And by the way, NiceWigg talks a lot on stream. Is he always like that?
Yeah, Wig is full of energy all the time. And you know, I have my role, and I think I fill it well. I don't try to talk over him. You know, he's the one that talks the most, but I just try to do my part and provide that competitive analysis. And then the banter that we have is, you know, that's every day. I could wake up, walk out of my room, and we're instantly talking to each other. That's just what we do.
That's incredible. And by the way, I thought your commentary was spot on, more of like the color side. So from a professional, NiceWig's not quite at that level that you are. So, but as a member of the Charlotte Phoenix Pro team, it must be tough to not hit this stage, right? As in a competitive standpoint, instead casting. But obviously, it's a little bit painful. But did you kind of cover that pain with commentary? Did it ease it for you guys, or does this kind of drive you guys and give you extra motivation for the upcoming season?
Yeah, I mean, it obviously pains me to not be on that main stage competing myself, and that's definitely something that I want to do. I just figure that whenever I can't make the tournament or qualify, instead of watching from my house, I'd rather just be there casting it. It definitely use it as motivation. Every time I like spectate a game, I'm like, man, I wish I could have been the one making that play, or I wish I could be the team celebrating on that stage. But yeah, it is motivation. I could still learn, obviously, from watching the games at LAN, and just use that as just fuel to the fire to just come better myself when I get back.
Love that. And you said, learning from that standpoint to bring it into your competitive gameplay, but also, this isn't your first cast and with NiceWigg either. I know you guys covered the Split 2 playoffs as well, which was your first real experience there. If that was in Sweden, which is also pretty damn cool. But anything from that take in Sweden, your first time around, that maybe you're able to pull a little bit of that experience for this time around in Raleigh?
Yeah, I think the one thing I learned the most was, you can't please everybody. I got 20 teams to spectate. There are some zones where 10 teams fight at the same time, and we can't possibly watch and cover every single team. So sometimes the chat tends to be a little salty. They're like, oh, why aren't you watching this team? Oh, my God, you guys missed this fight. And I think the number one lesson that I learned was, while in game, to just not look at the chat, because there are some people who just will never be satisfied. They'll never be happy.
Yep.
And that just brings down the overall vibes of the stream. So the less that I looked at the chat, the better my vibes were, and the better I was at doing my job.
Absolutely great. If you want a prime example of that, day one, when they kept saying that your mic was awful, I was sitting back, I was like, this is fine. Like, they're just literally trying to pull your leg.
Yeah, people love to just be like, oh my God, why aren't you watching TSM? Oh my God, NRG is doing this. You missed Furia. They just, killed one guy. And then there was a point where someone in the game crashed, and then the chat was spamming that me and Wig were, because we didn't restart the game for their favorite team, as if we have that power.
That is the most ridiculous thing. That's just a prime example that a lot of people that watch don't have any idea what goes in behind the scenes, for sure. Well, if you're to compare the two events, talking about Sweden to this one, right? Because you casted it both. Let's not actually get away from the booth. Let's talk about the experience as a whole. What similarities, differences did you see when you're in Sweden versus when you're here in Raleigh for those two events? And feel free to share any crazy happenings that happened during those two events.
I think the main difference between the two events was by far just the fan interaction, and having just a bunch of supporters in the venue. Having people just hang out by the B stream right outside, being able to meet, take pictures, autographs from all the people that have been supporting you for so long, and just been in the scene, as well as other competitive players and rank grinders. Just having that overall energy in the venue was just amazing. That was one thing that Sweden obviously lacked, because they didn't have a live audience. But as the games went, I think the tenacity from the players, the competitiveness, the overall intensity was evenly matched, I would say, between the two. I really enjoyed watching the games. Sweden did have one less day, so I had an extra group stage that I had to cast in Raleigh, which was another 10-hour day.
Yeah.
So in terms of just hours, it was more. But being in Sweden at that main stage, our background was the venue, so we could walk out there and see it if we wanted to, or just like peep through the window and we could have seen like the players in the game. But in Raleigh, we weren't really near the venue, or not the venue, the arena, but we could hear the fans going crazy when there was like a team that won, or like a crazy Kraber play. Like you could like feel the like rumbling in the venue, and that was really sick.
Hell yeah, I went to a lot of Hurricanes games, and the way it resonates throughout PNC Arena is super cool. I just imagine it being like, being in your prime, or the environment that you want to be in, like Apex Legends in that championship, right? Gotta be pretty cool. Well, Greg, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us and kind of getting your thoughts here on the cast. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, my pleasure. And actually, Greek, let them know where they can find you on social medias if they don't know who you are. First of all, how, and second of all, let them know where they can find you.
Yep. So you guys could follow me on Twitter. It is MrGreekGod_. You could see me live on Twitch, where I stream every day, 8 to 10 hours. It is twitch.tv/Greek. And then on Instagram, you could find me @TheRealGreek_. Thank you guys for having me again.
Absolutely, our pleasure.